Hello, friends. Welcome back to a new lesson, to a new day, and to a new topic. Mhm. Today's lesson is all about grammar. That's right, you heard me correctly. It's all about grammar. So, how about I present the topic to you now? So, we're going to be talking about past tense today. Now, we have done this before, so it's more like a review, but that's okay. It is always a good idea to review, okay? So, the title for today's lesson is Use Past Tense Verbs. And we are going to be going back to the regular past tense verbs, okay? Now, before I continue, also I want to call your attention to our simple present timeline that I have there. Okay. And again, I want to stress out that this is a simple present. And the reason that I am calling your attention to this is because we are going to actually start at the beginning or in the present. Mhm. That's right. So a verb in the present tense says what happens now or often. Okay. So let me go ahead and read that again. A verb in the present tense says what happens now or often. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at these examples that I have here. For example, here we have repeated action. So this is something that happens often, right? I eat lunch every day. So this happens at regular intervals. Every day I eat lunch. My birthday comes around in March every year. So something that repeats itself at regular intervals, whatever the interval is. It can be hourly, by the second, by the seasons, doesn't matter, but it happens repeatedly. Okay. Also, it's true. Okay. So we also use the present tense to state a truth, something that is not going to change ever, or at least not for the near future. For example, I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's not going to change anytime soon, as far as I know. So that is, I use the present tense to state that because it's something that that either happens now or often. Okay, so something that happens now is I am making a video. That's something that happens now, right? So I use the present tense for that. Okay. I have another example down here. The girl walks home from school every day. So this happens at regular intervals. Okay. It's a repeated action. So every day she walks home from school. Correct? Okay. So here is what we have seen before. Before we've seen that a verb in the past tense says what happened before now. We have seen this before, right? Remember when we did regular past tense. So here is a simple timeline for the past tense. And here is an example. It's an action that already finished sometime before now. Okay, so sometime in the past. I went there last week. So I'm not going now. I'm not going tomorrow. I did it already. It's in the past, last week. My example, following the same sentence that we had earlier. Yesterday, she walked home from school. So notice that the verb walked is in the past tense. So for the regular verbs, we add ed to most verbs to say what happened in the past, like jump, jumped, right? Now, walk, walked. But today we are going to be concentrating on a different verb. Before we do that, I just want to share with you my little comic of the day. How do you like this? I did it tomorrow, yes? So, tense versus time travel, right? Okay, so let me go ahead and present today's lesson, which is going to be the verb to be past simple tense. And this is going to be a lot of practicing. That's all we're going to do. Lots of practicing together. And then I'm going to drop a link for you guys to practice on your own. Okay? So, verb to be, right? Has different different parts. So here we go. Let's just talk about this for a little bit. So the verb to be is irregular. Its form is different to another verbs. To be is used a lot in English. So those are some facts about the verb to be that we need to know. The different forms of the verb to be are, here we are, here we go. Let's look at them. Be, is, am, are, being, was, were, been, right? So these are the different forms. Today we're going to concentrate only on the past tense, okay? So past simple tense form of to be are, here we go, was and were. Okay, so these are the two past tense forms of the verb to be. Affirmative, okay, so they're positive. Okay, um, so the form to you use depends on the subject. And let me go ahead and pause here for a second to say that I borrowed the majority of this lesson from games for ESOL.com. I thought that it was a great lesson, so why reinvent the wheel, right? So the form you use depends on the subject. Okay, so remember on the subject. So who or what the sentence is about. For example, here, she was at school yesterday. The sentence is about she, and she is the subject. The verb to be is was because it's in the past tense. Okay, so here we have a table, okay, that put all of the subjects and verb to be together there so that we can see it. You can always come back to this specific slide and copy this table down. I highly recommend it, okay? So I was, you were, he was, she was, it was, we were, they were. Remember, we are just going to go ahead and practice this. So hopefully by the end of today's lesson, you are going to be a master on past tense verb to be. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin with our practicing. Okay, so as promised, we are just going to practice, practice, practice. Okay, so here is practice number 1. Let's look at the illustration. I was at the park yesterday. Let's do it together. I was at the park yesterday. Where were you? Be careful. Where were you yesterday? I was at the park yesterday. It was sunny. So again, look at the illustration. It was sunny. Look at the illustration. There were dogs in the park. There were dogs in the park. Just remember to repeat after me, okay? Or with me, or around me, doesn't matter. They were happy. Okay, let's go ahead and do it together. They were happy. Okay. So I have things here that are called quizzes. They're really not quizzes. It's just more practice, okay? However, there will be an activity at the end, and some of these things that I have here will be there as well, okay? So let's go ahead and look at number 1. Where was he yesterday? Where was he yesterday? He was at the park. He was at the park. Remember to practice with me? Okay, let's do it. How was the weather? How was the weather? So tell me, how was the weather? Oh, yes, very good. It was sunny. Good. It was sunny. Okay, let's listen. And then answer the question. Practice pronouncing the question with me. What animals were in the park? What animals were in the park? Remember? Yeah, very good. There were dogs in the park. Say it together. There were dogs in the park. How were the dogs feeling? Let's do it. How were the dogs feeling? Yes, you are totally correct. They were happy. Let's do it. They were happy. Good job. Okay, so this brings us to practice number 2. Okay? Okay, let's go ahead and continue. I was at school yesterday. I was at school yesterday. Good job. There was a math test. There was a math test. Okay. There were 15 questions. There were 15 questions. Okay, good. It was very hard. Okay, it was very hard. I was stressed. Let's do it. I was stressed. Very good. Okay, so I'm going to ask you the question, and then what I'm going to ask is hope that you go ahead and answer it. Okay, and then we will practice both. We're going to practice, reading the question and the answer as well. Okay, so here we go. Where was she yesterday? Where was she yesterday? Good job. She was at school. Yes, she was at school. What test was there yesterday? What test was there yesterday? There was a math test. There was a math test. Okay, you guys are doing awesome. How many questions were on the test? How many questions were on the test? Yes, you got it. Good job. Let's go ahead and see it. There were 15 questions. Okay, there were 15 questions. Well done. Was the test easy? Was the test easy? No, it was hard. No, it was hard. Okay, I think this is the last one. How was she feeling? How was she feeling? Yes, she was stressed. Let's read it together. Let's go. She was stressed. Okay, friends. So we have arrived at the end of our lesson for today. And I just want to say, well done. You have done an amazing job, and I will see you next time. Remember to keep practicing and remember to click on the link to complete the activity. Okay?